Okay, so the next part of this video is method of differences. Okay, this is a fairly simple method. Typically, in a method of differences question, you would be asked to do two parts: a show that and a hence or otherwise find. Typically, it will simply be a hence find, sometimes it's hence or otherwise. The difference between those two I'll get onto in a moment. Okay. So, for example, the show, you're given r 1 over r minus 1 over r plus 1 equals 1 over r plus 1. Now, to do this is fairly simple. You have to multiply both sides. Well, ignore that bit, that's what you've got to prove at the moment. So you have to make this out of these two. So to start with, multiply both sides by r. Multiply the denominator and numerator of that equation by r. So you have 1 over r minus r over r plus 1. And then multiply by what was the base of those, r plus 1, so you get the same denominator on both. So you have r plus 1 minus r over r plus 1. As, because they will now have the same denominator, you can simply combine the numerators into one longer function over the denominator. And from here you can simplify the top, so it's r minus r plus 1. The r's cancel each other out, because it's positive r and negative r, so you're left with 1 over r plus 1, which is what we wanted, so yay, proved. Woo. And now you have your hence. Usually you'll be asked a hence, so in order to do a hence question you have to use the method from an earlier part of the question to solve the new part of the question. With a hence or otherwise you can either do that or you can use a different method, but usually it's easier to just do hence because you already have part of the solution. So for this example we have to find 1 over 1 times 2 plus 1 over 2 times 3 plus 1 over 3 times 4 all the way up to 1 over 29 times 30. It's 30 times 31. I'm making things up. It is 30 times 31. Yeah. You couldn't see that? I just gave you a thumbs up. Anyway. So to find this, this is a sum of, so you simply have to write it as a sigma notation as we saw on the previous page. Or that's how I like to do it anyway. So this is the equivalent of sigma notation. So your first, if you take q from this, it's r times r plus 1. This is 1 times 1 and 1 times 1 times 1 plus 1. 2 times 2 plus 1, so it does fit into this equation. You'll usually find that pattern with this sort of question. So you can simply use as your r equals 1 as your bottom. You can use this equation for your term, and it goes all the way up to r as 30 over here, so put 30 at the top. Now, we've already shown that this equation over here is equal to these two. So to make it simpler, to break it down so it's simpler to do, we can sub that in. So it is, do your little sigma notation, but instead of writing that, we write in brackets. Brackets are important when you're doing a notation between the two, such as this beautiful little subtraction in the middle of this equation. 1 over r minus 1 over r plus 1. Now, unfortunately, method of differences involves writing, and writing stuff carefully. I'm going to start writing it and then I'll explain in a minute. So, to sub in your first one, your first term is r equals 1, shown down here. So you simply sub that in, so 1 over 1 is 1, that's simple, minus 1 over 1 plus 1, which is 1 over 2. And then you sub in 2, which is 1 over 2, minus 1 over 2 plus 1, which is 1 over 3. And then the next one is r equals 3, which is 1 over 3, minus 1 over 3 plus 1, which is 1 over 4. You may be able to notice a pattern here with this one, got minus 1, minus half and plus half, here, minus third and plus third, and here, you may be able to tell the next equation would be 1 over 4. So it's minus a quarter and plus a quarter. Pretty simple. Just to make this simpler, put in plus signs. And that cancelling continues down, so nice little ellipsis, till we have the penultimate equation, which is r equals 29, because we go up to r equals 30. You can just go straight to r equals 30 if you want to, but it's good at least at first to go to r equals 1 over 29. In this case, it doesn't always have to be 29 because it's not always 30. So in this case, it would be 1 over r equals 29, so it's 1 over 29. Assume that's cancelled in the previous one, which is minus 1 over 28 plus 1, minus 1 over 29. Minus 1 over 29 plus 1, which is minus 1 over 30. And the final one is r equals 30, 1 over 30 plus 1 over 30, which again cancels there. Done boxes around everything that cancels. And then plus, well, minus 1 over 30 plus 1, which is minus 1 over 31. So once you've done all of your cancelling, which is all of this bit and all the bits in between, you're left with 1 and minus 1 over 31. 1 minus 1 over 31, which equals 30 over 31. If you can simplify that more, then it's good to do so, because often, especially if you're doing examiners, or if you're going to use a later equation, it's a lot simpler to cancel it down. Unfortunately, this expression does not cancel any further because it's a very annoying little rational number, 30 over 31. And that's it. That is method of differences. It doesn't get much more complicated than that, because usually you'll have the show first and then the hence find just follows on rather nicely. So that's that section. It's only one more bit to go!